After 60, if your sleep is getting lighter and your blood pressure feels harder to control, do not blame age too quickly. The problem may begin in a place most seniors overlook every morning: the breakfast plate. One quiet mineral your heart, nerves, and muscles use every day may be missing from your meals. And near the end, I'll show you a simple, 1-week magnesium food plan that does not require powders, pills, or complicated recipes. Magnesium is often talked about as a sleep supplement, but that is not where the conversation should begin. The more useful question is not, which magnesium pill should I buy? The better question is, am I giving my body enough magnesium from real food every day? After 60, this matters because the body does not usually become healthier from one dramatic change. It responds better to steady patterns: a better breakfast, a more balanced lunch, a smarter snack, and a dinner that supports the heart instead of working against it. Magnesium is one of those minerals you rarely think about until something feels off. It helps muscles contract and relax. It helps nerves send signals. It is involved in blood sugar control, blood pressure regulation, energy production, and normal heart rhythm. The National Institutes of Health describes magnesium as a cofactor in more than 300 enzyme systems in the body, which is one reason low intake can show up in vague ways. You may not wake up saying, "I need magnesium." You may simply notice that your legs cramp more often, your body feels tense at night, your sleep does not feel deep, or your energy fades earlier in the day. The daily target is also worth knowing. For adults over 51, the recommended dietary allowance is about 420 milligrams per day for men and 320 milligrams per day for women. That number may sound hard to reach, but it becomes much more realistic when the right foods are placed into meals you already eat. 1 ounce of roasted pumpkin seeds has about 156 milligrams of magnesium. 1 ounce of chia seeds has about 111 milligrams. 1 ounce of almonds has about 80 milligrams. Half a cup of cooked spinach has about 78 milligrams. Half a cup of cooked black beans has about 60 milligrams. These are not rare foods or expensive health trends. They are ordinary foods that become powerful when they appear regularly. And that is where many seniors run into trouble. They do not suddenly stop caring about health. They slowly drift into meals that are easy, familiar, and low in minerals. Breakfast becomes white toast with jam and coffee. Lunch becomes a small sandwich on refined bread. Dinner becomes meat, potatoes, and a few soft vegetables. Snacks become crackers, biscuits, or something sweet with tea. None of this looks extreme, but over months and years, it can quietly push out the foods that carry magnesium naturally: oats, seeds, nuts, beans, lentils, leafy greens, brown rice, yogurt, and fish. Before we go further, listen for one food group you already eat and one food group you may be missing completely. That will make this more useful than just hearing a list. The goal is not to memorize every number. The goal is to recognize where your daily meals may have a gap. Let's begin with the heart, because this is where magnesium is often misunderstood. Magnesium is involved in blood pressure regulation and normal heart rhythm, but that does not mean magnesium works like a quick switch. A person cannot eat a spoon of seeds and expect years of high sodium, low fiber, and poor sleep to disappear. The better way to understand magnesium is as part of a heart-supportive eating pattern. Magnesium-rich foods are often the same foods that bring other heart-friendly nutrients along with them. Beans bring fiber and plant protein. Leafy greens bring potassium and other minerals. Oats bring soluble fiber. Seeds and nuts bring magnesium and healthy fats. Yogurt brings protein and minerals. Fish brings protein and other nutrients that help make the meal more complete. This is why food is more powerful than it looks. If a senior replaces a salty afternoon snack with plain yogurt, pumpkin seeds, and a little cinnamon, the meal has changed in several ways at once. Magnesium goes up, protein goes up, fiber may improve, sodium often goes down. The snack becomes less about filling a craving and more about supporting the body. That is the kind of quiet change the heart often responds to over time. The FDA has allowed a qualified health claim that diets with adequate magnesium may reduce the risk of high blood pressure, but it also says the evidence is inconsistent and inconclusive. That wording is important. It tells us magnesium matters, but it should not be oversold. The real value is not in treating magnesium as a cure. The real value is in using magnesium-rich foods to rebuild the larger pattern: more whole foods, more fiber, less sodium, steadier energy, and better nourishment across the day. Now let's connect magnesium to sleep, because this is the part many older adults care about most. Magnesium is often promoted as something to take at night, but the evening is shaped by the whole day. If breakfast is mostly refined bread, lunch is low in protein, snacks are sweet, and dinner is heavy or salty, the body may arrive at bedtime unsettled. Hunger, blood sugar swings, muscle tension, and digestive discomfort can all make sleep lighter. Magnesium is not the only answer, but it can be one important part of a calmer pattern. Research on magnesium and sleep is interesting, but it should be understood honestly. One systematic review looking at older adults with insomnia found 3 randomized trials with 151 participants. The pooled results suggested that magnesium shortened the time it took to fall asleep by about 17 minutes compared with placebo, although the overall evidence quality was low to very low. So the message is not magnesium cures insomnia. The message is more practical. For some older adults, especially those with low intake, magnesium may support sleep as part of better daily nutrition, and that is why food timing matters. If you wait until 10 p.m. to fix the whole problem, you may end up relying on a capsule beside the bed. But if your breakfast includes oats and chia, your lunch includes lentils or beans, your snack includes yogurt or seeds, and your dinner includes greens or fish, the body receives support gradually. That is often easier on digestion, better for daily energy, and more realistic for a senior routine. Now let's turn this into real food, because knowing the mineral is not enough. The question is, what should actually be on the plate? The first group is seeds and nuts. This group gives a lot of magnesium in a small amount, which is useful for seniors who do not eat large meals. Pumpkin seeds are one of the strongest choices, with about 156 milligrams of magnesium in 1 ounce. Chia seeds give about 111 milligrams per ounce. Almonds give about 80 milligrams per ounce, and cashews give about 74 milligrams. But the smartest approach is not to eat large handfuls every day. The smarter approach is to use small amounts consistently. Add 1 tablespoon of chia to oatmeal. Sprinkle pumpkin seeds on yogurt. Spread unsalted almond butter on whole grain toast. Blend ground seeds into a smoothie, or stir them into soft cereal. The easy rule for this group is simple. Do not think more is better. Think a small spoon often. That is easier to digest, easier to chew, and easier to repeat. The second group is cooked leafy greens. Many people think they are eating enough greens because they have a few pieces of lettuce with dinner. Lettuce is fine, but it is not the same as cooked spinach, Swiss chard, beet greens, collard greens, or kale. Cooked greens are more concentrated, and that matters when appetite is smaller. Half a cup of cooked spinach provides about 78 milligrams of magnesium, and because spinach cooks down so much, that half cup is easier to eat than a large raw salad. This is especially useful for older adults who struggle with chewing, dentures, or a low appetite. Spinach can be stirred into scrambled eggs, added to soup, mixed into lentils, folded into an omelet, or added to pasta. Frozen spinach is one of the easiest options because it is affordable, it lasts, and it can be added to warm meals in minutes. The simple rule here is this: cooked greens often work better than large raw salads for seniors who want more nutrients without a lot of chewing. The third group is beans, lentils, and soy foods. This may be one of the most underrated groups after 60 because it supports more than one problem at the same time. Half a cup of cooked black beans gives about 60 milligrams of magnesium. Edamame gives about 50 milligrams in half a cup. Kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils, and hummus also fit well into a senior-friendly diet. The deeper benefit is that these foods bring magnesium together with fiber and plant protein. That combination matters because many seniors slowly reduce meat without replacing the protein properly. Sometimes meat becomes harder to chew, sometimes appetite is smaller, sometimes digestion changes, sometimes cost becomes a concern. Beans and lentils can help fill that gap in a gentle, affordable way. Lentil soup, black bean soup, hummus on whole grain toast, chickpeas added to a salad, or soft beans stirred into vegetables can all work. The simple rule for beans is this: start smaller than you think. If you have not eaten beans regularly, do not begin with a huge bowl. Start with 2 or 3 tablespoons in soup, or with a small serving of lentils, then increase gradually. This keeps the habit comfortable instead of turning a healthy food into a bloating problem. The fourth group is whole grains. This is where many people make a quiet mistake. They eat grains every day, but most of them are refined. White bread, white rice, crackers, pastries, and sweet cereals may be familiar, but they do not provide the same mineral value as oats, brown rice, barley, shredded wheat, or whole grain bread. Half a cup of cooked brown rice has about 42 milligrams of magnesium. One packet of instant oatmeal has about 36 milligrams. 2 large shredded wheat biscuits may provide about 61 milligrams. One slice of whole wheat bread gives about 23 milligrams. These numbers may not look huge when you hear them one by one, but whole grains matter because they can appear every day. Breakfast oats, whole grain toast, barley in soup, brown rice at dinner, or shredded wheat with milk can slowly improve the pattern. The rule here is not eat a mountain of grains. The rule is, when you do eat grains, make more of them whole. That single change can increase magnesium, fiber, and fullness without making the diet feel strange. The fifth group is simple supporting foods: yogurt, milk, bananas, fish, and sometimes mineral water. These are not always the highest magnesium foods, but they make the diet more realistic. Plain low-fat yogurt has about 42 milligrams of magnesium in an 8-ounce serving. A medium banana has about 32 milligrams. Salmon and halibut offer smaller amounts, but they bring protein and other nutrients that make the meal stronger. This group matters because not every senior wants complicated recipes, and many people need foods that are soft, quick, familiar, and easy to prepare. A banana with peanut butter is simple. Yogurt with chia seeds is simple. Salmon with spinach and brown rice is simple. Milk with oatmeal is simple. These foods may not sound exciting, but they are repeatable. And after 60, repeatable often matters more than impressive. Now let's build a 1-week plan in a way that feels realistic. This is the part to keep if the food list feels like too much. You do not need to eat every magnesium food every day. In fact, most people do better with rotation. One day may be oats and chia. Another day may be lentil soup. Another day may be yogurt with pumpkin seeds. Another day may be fish with greens. Rotation prevents boredom and gives the body a wider range of nutrients. For breakfast, choose one of 4 options. Option 1, oatmeal made with milk or fortified soy milk, plus 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, berries, and cinnamon. Option 2, whole grain toast with unsalted almond butter and a banana. Option 3, scrambled eggs with cooked spinach and a slice of whole grain toast. Option 4, plain yogurt with pumpkin seeds and fruit. Each breakfast has a magnesium food, but it also has a reason to work. Oats and chia bring fiber, yogurt brings protein, spinach adds minerals, almond butter adds healthy fats. This is much steadier than white toast and jam. For lunch, choose something warm and filling. Lentil soup with spinach is one of the easiest choices. Black bean soup with a slice of whole grain bread also works. A chickpea and vegetable bowl can work if chewing is comfortable. Hummus on whole grain toast with a side of yogurt can work when appetite is lower. If canned beans are used, rinsing them helps reduce sodium, and choosing lower sodium versions makes the meal more heart-friendly. The point is not to make lunch fancy. The point is to make it useful. For a snack, replace one low-nutrient snack with a magnesium-supporting snack. This may be the easiest change in the whole video. Instead of biscuits or crackers every afternoon, choose plain yogurt with pumpkin seeds, a banana with peanut butter, whole grain toast with almond butter, or a small bowl of oatmeal with chia. Snacks are powerful because they happen every day. A better snack does not feel like a diet, but it can quietly change the nutrient pattern. For dinner, pair magnesium foods instead of isolating them. Salmon with brown rice and cooked greens is one example. Lentils with spinach and yogurt is another. Chicken with barley soup and vegetables can work. A soft bean soup blended with greens can work for someone who needs easier chewing. The best dinner is not the one that sounds perfect. It is the one that can be repeated without stress. Now, let's talk briefly about supplements, because this is where many people jump too quickly. Food magnesium and supplement magnesium are not the same experience for the body. Magnesium in food arrives with water, fiber, protein, and other nutrients. Magnesium in pills, antacids, sleep blends, and laxatives arrives in a more concentrated form. After 60, many people are already taking several products, and it is easy to stack magnesium without noticing. This is why food comes first. A bowl of oats with chia is not the same as a pill, a laxative, and an antacid all containing magnesium at the same time. Many seniors do not need more products first. They need a clearer food pattern first. The upper limit for magnesium from supplements is is 350 milligrams per day for adults, and that limit does not apply to magnesium naturally found in food. That distinction is important because it explains why a food-first approach is usually the more sensible place to begin. There are also a few mistakes that can weaken the benefit of magnesium foods. The first mistake is choosing salted nuts and seeds. Pumpkin seeds and almonds can be excellent, but if they are heavily salted, the sodium may work against the heart health goal. Choose unsalted or lightly salted versions when possible. The second mistake is adding too much fiber too quickly. Beans, chia, lentils, and whole grains are useful, but a sudden large increase can cause gas or bloating. Start small, then build. The third mistake is forgetting protein. Some people here eat magnesium foods and focus only on vegetables. Greens are valuable, but after 60, protein matters for muscle, strength, and daily function. That is why the best meals pair magnesium with protein, yogurt with seeds, oats with milk, beans with greens, eggs with spinach, fish with brown rice, or nut butter on whole grain toast. The fourth mistake is expecting sleep to change overnight. Magnesium-rich meals are not a one-night trick. They are a rhythm, and the heart, muscles, and sleep cycle usually respond better to rhythm than to sudden effort. If you want the simplest version, use this 3-step plan for the next 7 days. First, add 1 magnesium food to breakfast every morning. Second, add beans, lentils, or cooked greens to lunch or dinner at least 4 times during the week. Third, replace 1 snack with a magnesium-supporting option. That is enough to begin. Not a perfect diet, not a cabinet full of supplements, just 3 small changes that can be repeated. And as you do this, pay attention to what feels realistic. If nuts are hard to chew, use smooth almond butter or peanut butter. If seeds bother your teeth, use ground chia or stir them into yogurt. If beans make you bloated, start with lentils or a smaller portion. If raw salad feels tiring, use cooked greens instead. Good nutrition after 60 should not feel like punishment. It should feel like support. The deeper message is this: magnesium foods help rebuild a more stable daily rhythm. A breakfast with oats and chia digests differently than toast and jam. A lunch with lentils and spinach supports the body differently than crackers and tea. A snack with yogurt and pumpkin seeds gives more nourishment than a sweet biscuit. A dinner with fish, brown rice, and cooked greens gives the body more to work with than a plate built mostly from refined starch and salt. For sleep, this matters because bedtime does not begin at bedtime. It begins with the way the body is fed during the day. A body that has received protein, fiber, minerals, and steady energy has a better chance of settling. Magnesium is not the whole story, but it is part of the story. And for the heart, this matters because cardiovascular health is shaped by repeated meals, not isolated choices. More fiber, less sodium, better minerals, enough protein, and more whole foods all work together. So remember this: after 60, magnesium is not about chasing the newest supplement. It is about rebuilding meals your body can work with. Start with 1 breakfast, 1 soup, 1 snack, or 1 dinner. Add a spoon of chia. Stir spinach into eggs. Choose lentil soup. Put pumpkin seeds on yogurt. Swap white bread for whole grain toast. Use almond butter instead of a sweet spread. These are small choices, but they are the kind of choices the body recognizes. If this helped you see magnesium in a clearer way, write 1 magnesium-rich food you already eat and 1 food you may add this week. Your answer may help another older adult choose a simple place to begin. Your heart does not respond to promises. It responds to habits. Your sleep does not improve because a label sounds impressive. It improves when the body is supported through the day. After 60, the quiet foods often matter more than the loud claims. A bowl of oats, a serving of beans, a spoon of seeds, a cooked green vegetable, a little yogurt, a piece of fish. These are not dramatic, but they are repeatable, and repeatable is what changes a life.